Hello everybody, my name is Ganesh Mysore. I'm a senior and I'm the president of SGA. Welcome to the second edition of Ganesh's Corner. Today I'd like to talk to you about 4 really important things that SGA is working on this semester. First among them, ProveIt. ProveIt is SGA's annual competition that awards 2 $10,000 grants, that's $10,000, to you and your team of students if you guys have an idea to make UMBC better in some way. A couple of ideas that have won in the past include a community garden, a biodiesel processing project, and expanding the coffee shop hours in the library to cater to late night students in the RLC. If you've got an idea like this, apply today. But even if you don't have an idea, don't fear, because you get to be a part of voting on the top 2 ideas that get funded. The election will be held on my UMBC sometime in April, and your votes literally choose the 2 winners that get those grants. So when you see that election go up, make sure to vote. It's important. So the second important thing I'd like to talk to you about today is college affordability. As you may already know, tuition at UMBC is set to increase somewhere between 5 and 7% for next year. I'd like to tell you what you can do with SGA to advocate on behalf of all students to make sure that college stays affordable in Maryland. The first thing that we're doing is starting a letter writing campaign to all of the legislators in the Maryland General Assembly. You can sign your name to a letter or a petition saying that you value education and that you value the importance of it in the state budget. Sending these letters in to legislators helps them understand, from the sheer numbers of letters coming in, how important it is to students and how much of an impact it really does have on our wallets when tuition goes up by as much as 7%. So, be on the lookout for SGA tables on Commons Main Street and in the Breezeway and other locations where you can write these letters and send them to your elected representatives. The second thing that SGA is doing to advocate for students is actually going to Annapolis. We will be participating in the University System of Maryland Student Council's Lobby Day, where we get to provide testimony to legislators as well as take one-on-one meetings with them to help them understand really how important it is to keep education accessible and affordable for all Marylanders. For many students, the one interaction they have with SGA is once every year in the spring during elections. Some students believe that elections necessarily have to be nasty, ugly, and aggressive. I'm not one of those students, nor are any members of this administration and the Student Government Association. We believe very strongly that a fair, equal, and respectful election is what UMBC needs for all students to want to participate in this important activity. So, to that end, SGA is undertaking a process in which we are reforming our election rules, regulations, and policies. This procedure is being headed by the Election Board Chair, Evan Leiter-Mason. Evan's taken a lot of great strides in making this process happen. But the first thing that you can do to get involved in this process is go to my UMBC and be a part of the discussion on election reform there. There's a discussion where you can take a survey that tells you the various rules and regulations that we're changing. Some of the big ideas on the survey are banning the use of mobile internet devices to solicit votes, and setting up polling stations that are only open during certain hours of the day to make sure that enforcement is possible. Take the survey to make sure that your voice is heard in making these changes happen. We believe in these values, and we want to make sure that future elections aren't marred by the type of scandal and nastiness as some of the past years. You can be a part of this process, so find that discussion on my UMBC and tell us what you think. The last thing that I want to talk to you about today is the Student Fee Advisory Board survey, which is probably sitting in your mailbox if you haven't already taken it yet. This survey is really important because it directly impacts where your fee money is spent. Unlike tuition, your fees have to be spent within the year that they're collected. So, these things impact the way the Commons looks, the state of technology, the state of UMBC transit and parking services. And by you taking the survey, you can have a really direct impact on where that money goes next year. Some of the cool things that this survey and the Student Fee Advisory Board have been able to advocate for include renovating our old dilapidated weight room. Also, the reintroduction of the downtown Baltimore bus route that all UMBC students can ride for free now, and the gigantic overhaul of the student organization space on the second floor of the Commons that happened this year. All of these things were paid for by your student fees, and they were only able to happen because of the input you students provided on the Student Fee Advisory Board survey. It's incredibly important that you take it, which is why every undergraduate student here received it in their inbox. Go find it by searching the words SFAB survey and take that survey today. It only takes 10 minutes, but it has a huge impact on what UMBC is going to look like next year. Thank you so much for joining me on this second edition of Ganesh's Corner. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed filming it. Stay tuned to our website and our Facebook page for more awesome videos about how you can get involved in the awesome work that we're doing. This is Ganesh, signing off.